Hey guys, what's up? In today's video, I will be discussing if you should play the original Insurgency in 2018. So, Insurgency Sandstorm just released for $30, but maybe you don't have that much money, or maybe it's hard for your system to run it, and if either of those are the case, or maybe you just want to see where the series started, then you should consider Insurgency 2014. The game is based on a mod and is made using the Source engine. Insurgency is a gritty and realistic FPS. The game features 15 maps, with lots of them featuring night variants. The game also features 12 different modes, with some being PvP and some being co-op PvE. So with the basics out of the way, let's get into whether or not you should play Insurgency in 2018. Starting off with the graphics, Insurgency looks pretty good for a game released in 2014 on the Source engine. I mean, it's by no means the next Crisis, but it's definitely respectable enough, especially on high settings, and all the models and assets look pretty good, and overall the game looks pretty good, but the sound design in this game is really good. Like, it feels like you're firing actual guns in the game. Like, they sound amazing, and like all the grenades, everything just all works together perfectly. And then also like the random stuff that the different soldiers will yell off in the game is actually useful. And overall, the graphics are pretty decent, and the sound design is just amazing. Next up is the gameplay. And the gameplay loop is very similar to Sandstorm if you have played it, but if not, pretty much there are different objectives depending on the game mode, but you always respawn in waves, and once your team runs out of respawn waves, you're on your last life, and then when you die, you're dead. This leads to some really high-stakes moments, as for instance in Push, the attacking team must capture points to get more respawn waves, so if your team is down to only like say 4 people or something, and they have to capture the point or they lose, it creates some really tense and really fun matches that I haven't experienced in a game in a very long time. Like, for instance, one time me and some of my friends were stuck in a position like this, so we threw a bunch of smokes on this one side to make it think we were rushing from there, and then like we tricked him out and sent like 2 people to like start shooting at like different positions, and then me and this other dude ran up the middle and just cleared out the building and got our team an extra 5 respawn waves to take the next objective. And it's stuff like that that really defines like Insurgency. It's just super realistic, but it just creates some of the most fun moments I've ever had in gaming, and especially in like now, like it'll feel like such a breath of fresh air compared to like the really standard either like battle royale or team deathmatch games that we have today. The game also requires a lot of team coordination and a decent knowledge of the map, as you die from 1 to 3 bullets in this game, leaving you with lots of moments where you're thinking, what the fuck? But then it's even more satisfying when you can pull off a moment that makes another player think the same thing. Also, when I say your team needs coordination, I mean it. Like, using game chat is very useful to win the game, and almost every game I've been in has had lots of people talking, and even if no one is talking, it's pretty easy to get a conversation going, and the community in this game, from what I've experienced, is very good, and I've had very little toxic players to deal with. Here's an example from the game chat, but sadly for some reason my audio got screwed up, so you won't hear my end, but you will hear what my teammates are saying.
I mean, we have 20 seconds left. They can capture it. You know, which one?
Not 20 seconds. They can capture it because I've done it.
Well, let's go again. Go for it.
Because if they sit on there, the time doesn't stop. Once
Fall off the time ends. Now
GG, boys.
GG, bro.
Nice.
Nice, guys.
Awesome.
GG.
The gunplay in this game is also really, really good, as it actually gives you a reason to change your gun to semi-auto or burst, because if you're using your gun on fully automatic, yes, it's actually very good in close quarters, as spray and pray is kind of viable and you aren't forced to aim down sights, but if you're at a long range, you better be using semi-auto or burst, as it's very unlikely you actually kill anyone using fully automatic at a long range, as the game's recoil is very hard to control, but it is not impossible, and also, most importantly, it is not bloom, so that is very nice. I hate games that have bloom, and it's just random who kills who. This is on top of all the little things in the game that make the gameplay really tactical and fun, such as if you reload with a full magazine, you pretty much lose all the ammo that was in that mag. Or, for instance, another small detail in this game is the callouts that different characters will give that are actually pretty helpful sometimes. Like, for instance, they'll yell out if they're reloading so you know when to cover them, or if they say there's enemies in the objective, that's useful too. Or if they sometimes they'll give callouts to where enemies are. And even if, you can hear the enemy callout sometimes, so it helps you know where they are. And that's just a really small detail that goes a long way to making this game really fun. And another small detail is how if you're playing a night map, it pretty much requires you to have night vision on, which really slows the game and makes some maps play completely differently. And my personal favorite thing to do in this game is push on Pange during the night. Well, it's not my personal favorite, it's one of my favorites. Personally, the desert maps are my favorite in this game. And yeah, Pange at night, it's just a really slow-paced, well, yeah, it's pretty slow-paced, and it's just really, really fun as there's players that are sniping, they're throwing grenades, you're throwing smokes, trying to cap the objective, and you don't know where people are coming from. You better hope to see some muzzle flashes or something in the night so you have an idea of where to shoot. You just see some silhouettes, you take some shots, but because of how this game handles the kill feed, and you don't get some big notification for if you killed a person or not, and some servers don't even have a kill feed, so you just have to guess whether or not you killed the person. And this is just, again, one of those small details that makes the game so much fun. And if you're worried about this game not having a player base, when you buy it, don't worry, there is a server browser so you can always find full games, and there are plenty of them, as this game, I just checked, currently has about 2,600 players in game as of the writing of this script, and that could go up or down, but I feel like it'll stay around there or maybe increase because of the winter sale. I mean, this game is only $2 at the moment. So, in conclusion, I think that this game definitely is not for everyone, but if you like tactical games like Rainbow Six Siege or Arma, I think that you would love this game, and Insurgency definitely holds up 4 years after release. So if you liked this video, please subscribe and share this video with your friends, and until next time, goodbye.